Hey, this is Keith. Welcome to How to Build Your Own Home, and it's noisy, so get prepared. We're going to talk as loud as we can. I'm with John Lynch here with Sun Pro Truss Plant, and it's a new manufacturing plant local to where I live. They can service just about any place you need to. We'll talk about that later. We're going to give you a tour of a truss plant, and this is a state-of-the-art new facility, and we're going to ask some questions and really give you some really good feedback on why trusses are so important and how to really study what kind of truss you want. If you've listened to me for a long time, I've had several videos and I've talked about, you need to do this truss, you need to do this truss. We're going to talk about that. We're going to actually show you some pros and cons of the types of trusses for flooring and also the types of trusses for the roof. And so stay tuned. This is going to be a great tour. Go ahead and show us around, John.
Great. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, great.
Yep. So we'll go into the plant now. The first thing you're going to see is the Hundegger Ranger system. It's an automatic wood picker. The Ranger picks up the wood, and it's by sizes. So we have X amount of lengths. We have 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s. We end at 18s. So that's just our system for how we can optimize each piece of wood. We can use a whole 18-foot length of wood, or we can optimize all the way down to 5 inches if we want to. Oh, wow. for a truss pack. The Ranger crowns the wood on its own too, or if there's too much weight, it doesn't meet our specifics, the Ranger's lasers that's built into the system will notice that and will kick it out into a call bin that we have. It's a famous lumber term of call lumber.
Garbage,
pretty much. They're also called farm packs too. So if you want to visit a local lumber yard and ask for a farm pack, they usually give you discounted lumber off farm packs. So after the Ranger picks it up, it will enter into our Hundegger saw. It's a 1-blade lineal saw. And so we chose to do a lineal 1-blade saw over a common 5-blade saw because we can optimize each piece of wood to any length we want. A 5-blade saw only can go to about 2 feet 6 inches, and then you'll have to go to a lineal blade saw regardless to get under 2 feet 6 cuts. Okay. So common wedges of a truss, right by the heel of the truss, those are a common short pieces is what we call them, and you'll have to get to a lineal saw anyway. So,
and you have also 2 samples in there. One with a floor truss, one with an I-joist.
Yes.
Now, we're looking right now at those. What's the real difference between those two?
So the first big difference is the open web concept. We can go from 12-inch floor truss all the way up to 24-inch floor truss.
So a floor truss is really something that's an open web.
It's an open web. You can run mechanicals through it, where an I-joist has an OSB nature to it, where you can only drill so many holes, or if at all, into an I-joist to run any type of mechanicals, or you're running mechanicals parallel to the joist system, and you're not running mechanicals perpendicular at all.
So that actual floor truss that we're looking at right now, that is a top quart bare floor truss, correct?
It will be a top quart bare floor truss, which eliminates a hanger and any glue that you would use a typical installation of an I-joist as well. And so on a top quart bare, the blocks will go to the whatever surface you're installing the floor truss on, and then you can toenail the truss for your installation.
Yeah, so the benefit is that no glue, there's no hangers.
Yep.
So right there, that's about $8 on the low scale for the hanger.
Correct.
Could be as high as $40 for some hangers.
Yep.
And then, of course, no glue, and it just sits there. And it's very easy for the framers to deal with. That's what we're looking at right now. That's one of my favorite floor trusses. My other favorite truss is the attic truss.
Yes.
Tell us about why an attic truss is so powerful.
Yeah, attic trusses are great because you can add, you already have your roof system anyway, and you can get creative with installing a roof, any type of really a size room. We usually go up to about 20 feet wide in a span of a max of an attic truss, and then all the way up to 8 or 9 feet, depending on the pitch of the roof. And so you can insulate the sides.
And we're talking about some dead space where you can insulate, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we can build a floor truss in the bottom chord of an attic truss too, or use LVL material up to 11/7/8 for the bottom chord to match your floor system anyway. So
either way is fine because you've got the web opening at the end, so you can fit mechanical in through that dead space.
Absolutely.
Underneath if you need to. So either way works just fine that way.
Yep, absolutely.
So those are my favorite trusses, and so they're phenomenal.
And they're loaded, the attic trusses are loaded as a habitable space, and so it gives it a 40-pound live load to walk on the floor as well. And if you had some extra loading necessary, we can load the trusses for a greater live load over 40 pounds.
And so you can service, you're down here in the southwest portion of Utah, which is St. George, Utah. This is a state-of-the-art facility. You really can service people throughout the Intermountain West for the most part.
Absolutely. So we have our own trucks here that could get there and back in one day. And if we have to third-party ship trusses anywhere in the United States, we can do that as well. And coordinate a forklift on site for you to unload a third-party hauler.
So if it's a greater distance, if you have framers on a job site, and a lot of really professional framers actually have forks on site.
Correct.
Some people will fork it off, set it on, and they can take it from there.
Yep, and we can band the trusses, each section of trusses, typically up to 2,500 pounds that a common on-site forklift can safely lift too.
You guys all are really great at communication, consulting, helping people, walk them through the whole process.
Yep.
On my job that I'm doing right now, they're actually going to be doing the floor trusses really soon, probably next week.
Yes.
And you were talking to me that let's not do the I-joists in this part of the home. Let's just do floor trusses, and we can actually do them for less.
Yeah.
Explain how that worked out on this job particularly.
Yeah. So just like your job, you had a kind of combination of open web trusses and I-joists, and with the easier installation of an open web, we decided to replace the engineering. Pretty simple, is just to get back to your building engineer and tell them we're going to switch to a manufactured open web floor joist, and I will provide the engineering for you to give to your building engineer, and then they can submit that back to the city.
And that actually helped me out because you were able to show me three-dimensionally on your computer program. We went upstairs, we sat down, walked it through. It was really helpful to see that 3 dimensions of that. And tell me about that program that you guys use for that.
So we use a software called MyTech. You can actually take our file and use it 3D. You can put it on a tablet. It's for iOS or Windows product. You can download it on your phone or tablet or computer as well. And you can see the powerful engine. You can design walls in it. You can design floor trusses and roof trusses.
Okay.
And we can work with framers. We can work with builders such as yourself to see where all of the mechanicals are being placed. We can find bearing points in the walls too. So if you have a girder doing load transfers from the roof all the way to the foundation, you can see where those bearing points need to be.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we'll have a link down in the description box for the truss plant here. Check that out. Feel free to reach out to them. They're great. I love this company. And thanks for just checking in. And this is a phenomenal thing to really reach into and study. Floor trusses and roof trusses is something we don't consider all the variables and all the options that are available for you. So there's a course that I have at How to Build Your Own Home, and I go over trusses and all the different types of trusses that are available. So as you're designing your home, look at that. Look at the floor truss options, look at the roof truss options, creating floor space and creating access for mechanical and all this. These are things a lot of owner builders just don't know and they're not aware of. And even a lot of designers are not aware of.
Correct.
And so when you bring design here, hey, we can do it this way, and the designer doesn't know that. So you're working with basically 2 designers, and they're engineers and designers, basically a mix.
Yes.
And so that really was where it really comes together for things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
great. Anyway, thanks, John, for the tour. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yep.
This is How to Build Your Own Home, talking about trusses.